What's going on, traders? How we doing? I'm ready to get back to this market. It's CPI day. Yes, we got a movement, but it wasn't the biggest move. And if anything, it just showed what more and more. My man Jerome Powell patting himself on the back out there. I know they're talking about it right now, maybe in that FOMC meeting. They're already saying, hey, man, we're doing this. We're getting inflation down to 2%. And I know that a lot of economists were like, there's no way they could potentially do this next year. So who was right? Who was wrong? Let's find out. Let's talk about that. And of course, let's get to the good stuff, which is the live trading action. You guys know why you're here. It's live trading with Benzinga. Let's go get that money, baby.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, team, let's go ahead. Let's get it started. Sorry about the redirect there. It looks like I missed that one today. Let's get to the market. Let's take a look, and then you guys smash a like for me if you guys are enjoying the action here on live trading. Let me fix this background right quick. There we are. Now we're getting into the action. We'll see what happens here in the moo life. Of course, we'll see what I can get into and see if the Qs can go higher here. And I think that that's what we need to be looking at today. What's lifting the tide? It's these Qs, right? I'm at the point where we just need to be kind of watching tech names, and that's what keeps this rally going, right? We'll see what happens today. AMD does have an event later today. I think that AMD can make a big move today and continue driving higher, and then potentially maybe selling the news once we actually get to that event. That event's at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So pay attention to that. We'll see what happens in AMD today. Oracle got a big news yesterday when it was on kind of going towards talking about what was going on, and definitely continuing to grind higher here is Oracle. CRM, though, took a major hit yesterday when they had their AI event. So this is what I'm also thinking about today. Maybe AMD drives higher, and then we get this kind of action towards the end. So just be careful with AMD. I do think it could grind higher, but also could drop at any moment. So be careful out there, team. Smash the like out there, team. We need to get some more traders in here. So do me the favor, get those likes up. If we could get to 200 likes, we'll keep going past 10:30 today. You guys keep it going. All right, let's see what else is going on in the markets. Let's see if we can continue going. There's the crow. How's the beach life out there? I need to get to the beach life. I need some fun in the sun. You guys know it out there. Let's take a look at what else is doing well. CCL continuing up there to 1528. NCLH, man. Honestly, I could have still held this move here. And look at this breakout in NCLH. What a move there. And definitely one of the biggest calls of the year for me. So definitely going to continue watching that. We'll see if Hilton starts getting a move, and Marriott. These are ones that I really like. Marriott already starting to go through this 183. And with this one being mentioned, Airbnb up to 126. This could keep going there if we keep that lift going higher. So keep your eyes on names like this. Qualcomm, says Nick Z. Why not? I mean, Qualcomm yesterday has an AI event here, exclusive on Benzinga, and then keeps going. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Who knows, guys? The early worm gets the worm, of course. And look at this, guys. I really do think that Qualcomm is just getting started. I've talked about this on the monthly levels, and I showed this in even our preview outlook. This looks great on the monthly levels. Now that we've had the interview at least for one day, guess what, team? I'm looking to get a little bit of Qualcomm, especially on the swing trade action, but I need a little bit of a pullback. I'm looking for a pullback below 120s. And will I ever get that? I mean, it might take a little while for me to get that. So I'm going to be waiting. I'll be waiting for it on pullbacks. Right now, it already took off here, so I can't get it today. But definitely, do I want a piece of this? Why not, guys? I was just kind of waiting towards the interview to finish, so you guys didn't think I was front running it. But the truth is, I still want a piece of Qualcomm. All right, let's keep going, guys. Let's smash it up out there. Ryan Faluna joining up. And yes, we'll keep going. We'll take a look at the other action. The early worm gets hooked. Yeah, it happens a lot of the times. But the truth is, we'll see if we can continue running in the AI bubble, right? And will AI make another lift here? It's setting up for another push here. And so keep your eyes on stocks in the AI space. It could keep pushing. Palantir stocks getting lift, Carvana, stocks like that. And then just to kind of mention on Carvana today, I think Carvana actually got a supporting factor in the CPI. What? CPI supporting factor, Carvana? Why would it do that? Well, of course, you get what? Used car prices, right? And how that's kind of affecting inflation. What did we see a jump in? Used cars and trucks. So could that give Carvana a lift again? Yeah, why not, right? If the prices of used car vehicles are going to come back up to where they were, maybe not in the pandemic, right? But they can just get a little spike. What is that going to help? Carvana's margins. Why were they starting to lose out on some margins after getting a big run? Well, because the prices were also coming down, right? So this showing a little bit of a spike back up could maybe give Carvana a continued lift today. So I'd put it on the radar. We'll see what happens there in Carvana. All right, you can keep going. We'll see what other stocks can maybe get a lift off of this. You can maybe look at like a cars.com, things like that. Maybe those get a little bit of a lift here off of mentions like that on the CPI report. Not going to go too crazy on a name like that, but just keeping an eye on it, right? All right, we also got news today from Toyota Motors. Is that continuing on to 158? That could maybe get Tesla into the gap zone. I'm looking to see if we can get into this gap zone and then come right back down. Of course, yesterday, I even took a shot at shorting Tesla. Eventually got stopped out on this name, but I'm going to keep watching it because I have a feeling that this will have a nasty turnaround to the downside. So I'm going to keep watching this gap, see if we can get into that gap and eventually maybe take a swing to the downside. Another big thing for me is the RSI extremely to the overbought side now to 96. So just to put it in perspective, there's not many times that Tesla goes to these levels. 89, you got 93. So this shows to me that, yeah, we're definitely near blow off top on Tesla. I just got to wait to what? The price action match the RSI. Right now, RSI is still going up. So I'm not going to go into it yet. I need to see RSI come down and I need to see price action also come down. So what is that? That's called positive confirmation. And that's what I'll be looking for in Tesla. All right, now to kick it to my man, Ryan. We'll see what Ryan's looking at in the market. And of course, we got Zunaid. He'll be joining us just shortly, guys. He'll be with us in a second.
All right. Well, first thing we're going to take a look at here is the SPY, because this market will not go down. Mitch, I heard you talking about a blow off top there for Tesla. Tesla, don't forget, in the news recently because GM is adopting its charging standard. We actually got news from EVgo yesterday that they're also adopting the standard. So I think that that's actually going to drive Tesla. I think one of the things you'll be able to do is actually lease that technology, but we'll see. We'll see if that ends up materializing. Mitch, I got to say, nice jersey.
Yes. My man Murray.
Baby. Rooted for the Heat the entire series, but when Denver wins, he busts out the Denver jersey. Gotta love it, Mitch. Gotta absolutely love it.
That's why you gotta have multiple jerseys in the closet, guys. Come on, man. If you don't got multiple jerseys, you can't do things like this. No, but I'm a big Murray fan. Gotta give it to my man Murray. And I also gotta mention the hard work that he did to get back to the game that he was playing, right? Because if you guys don't know, he got hurt right in 2020 in the pandemic, and they were making a title run that year. I was looking at Murray, and Murray was on freaking fire.
When they lost him, they really fizzled.
Yeah, and I thought they could have won the finals that year in the bubble. But there you guys see it. They got it. They outplayed the Heat, and the truth is, the Heat were missing a 20-point scorer. Let's just be honest. If the Denver were to lose Jokic or Murray, would have been a different series? I think definitely, right? Yeah. And so I would say that the truth is here is that Denver was fully healthy, the better team. So the better team won here in the finals. But shout out to the Heat, though. Still, they made it to the finals. That's all that matters sometimes. Just making it to the finals is I'm a happy man.
That's the second time they've made it and not come with the trophy. So I don't think they want to hear that this morning. But your point is well made.
I mean, the truth is that you need a healthy squad to take the trophy.
Yeah.
You can't take the trophy if your squad isn't healthy.
I'm not sure Tyler Hero would have made that difference this year, but We digress. Anyway, we'll see where
Still
they end
think
up going
so.
next year. I still think Miami's best move this offseason is getting Damian Lillard in there, as Portland's rebuilding and has the 3rd overall pick. Imagine Damian Lillard, Butler, and Bam. We'll see. Anyway, let's get back to the market.
I gotta trade Hero though.
We got to start. We got to start a sports betting podcast, Mitch, so that people that are interested in that can come find us.
You know it, baby. You know it.
Anyway, let's get back to the market. SPY here looks like we're going to trade up again. Remember, we do have the Fed meeting tomorrow. We are expecting a skip there. The CME watch tool is saying something like 90% no hike, or 96% no hike. I think it would be an extreme shock to the market if we get it, but I don't think we get it. Tech up again here today. Really quickly, let's just talk about the swing that I've taken. Again, the whole thing with this is that this has made no sense to me. I literally took this just because of the chart formation. High and tight flag here, looking like it's going to break higher. Tech has moved higher, so that trade has been working. We're still in this here. We'll see where we end up going a little bit higher here in the pre-market today. I'd like 40. We'll see if we get 40s. Let's talk about some of the stocks that are actually moving today. And I don't think, hang on one sec. I have the wrong one open here. I have a filter, I believe, put on this. Why is this not having any data?
You want to go?
No, yeah. Well, actually, my whole thing is frozen now. Oh, wait a sec. No, it isn't. Let's see. There we go. Hang on, Zunaid. I got this. All right. FWBI. This is definitely going to be on the list here today. Oh my goodness. What is going on? All right, Zunaid, you're up.
All right. Sounds good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the SPY, an area. So I've got a couple of orders out. Let me see where they are. I believe I'm looking to purchase. Yeah. So the 435 and 435.10 is where I'm looking to purchase SPY. Stop loss will be below 434.50s, right? If it goes ahead and cracks that, what I'm hoping for is for the SPY to come down. And you can see this pre-market high, and you can also see this little VWAP area, which is going to be close to that 435. That's where I'm hoping that we get a little bit of a bounce of at least 50 cents or so. That's the game plan that I have. AVGO, spam one in the chat if you got a chance to play AVGO here because of the call out that we had on the options that came in. And we also planned it out exactly where we wanted to get in, right? We talked about how this was going to be resistance up here and how as soon as it came back and tested that prior resistance, it would end up as support. We got it around here. I went ahead and sold my equity around 831s or so because patience is not the name of the game for me. But the options contract, if you went ahead and made money on that, congratulations. I think it did double more than 100% just in one day. So congratulations on that. Amazon, again, we talked about those big options that were coming in, especially when it broke that 125 level. And now that's a few bucks higher there as well. Also, we got a couple of people that made money on that. Congratulations to you. And of course, Carvana, right? Take a look at this one where yesterday you had it kind of break 20, right? It tested 20. We got into this play. We got out. Then it came right back up. I didn't get a chance to play this in the afternoon, but just talking about that 20 level. Where do we go from here on Carvana? I think it's got a base over 22. You can see resistance there. Is it going to hold on to support? Is going to be the name of the game on that point there. Let's go ahead and check out Tesla. Could not get over 250. Eventually did in the afternoon, but now you can see in the pre-market, it was holding on as support. So I don't know if Tesla's going to come back and test 250 as that's $4 away, but if it does, keep an eye on it. I think that 250 area can definitely be something that you want to take a look at in terms of support. Move into AV. I'm not sure what you mean. Are you saying like, is there more to go? So I believe if I remember correctly, those options were for 870, but that doesn't mean they're going to hold on to it till it gets to 870. It might have already flipped out of it. I genuinely don't know. But I would definitely go ahead and trim your gains if you have it. And the next area that I would look to get in is this 850 area if it does come down $13. But besides that, I mean, it's already gone. We're good to go. Am I planning on getting a put? No, I'm planning on getting filled here in about 13 cents on the SPY. No puts for me at the moment. However, if we do go ahead and break this, then come back to test 435, sure, I'd be interested in it. Did I get filled? No, looks like the SPY went ahead and stopped at 435.25. My fill is at 435.10s. So it did not get filled. If this goes ahead and touches this 436 area before coming down, I will go ahead and get out. D-Dog, looks like that one's getting above 100. I'll keep that on my radar. RX, by the way, went ahead and hit $10 is the alert that I got. Yep, there it is. Hit 10 pre-market, coming right back down. If you want to play this ticker, maybe you got to wait till it gets over $10. SPY is the main focus for me at the moment. Up the 1 minute chart for fun at the moment. Come on, just grab me right here. Grab some shares and let's move up.
MGIH trading back up to the VWAP here. That's just out of the open. I'm going to let everything settle in from the open instead of taking something early here. I'm going to keep trying to be disciplined here, but MGIH first move up to the VWAP and now through. FWBI, another one on the list here. Big sell candle at the open, but this might still go higher here. So let's see on FWBI. I have a high print of 294 on FWBI. MGIH pulling back a little bit here.
Let's see on that one. MGIH. Boy, my computer's going way slow. Okay. Let's see if we can grab some shares at $3. So I've got, looks like something got filled for me in a sec, I'll tell you. But I'm looking to purchase MGIH at $3. $3 exactly. Let's see what I did get filled on. All right, looks like I got filled on my SPY at 435.12s. So I'm going to try to sell that at approximately the 50-cent mark. So 435.50. And we'll call it 48 for fun.
So market, at least the SPY futures moved down from the open. We'll see if that is just kind of a reactionary move or if that materializes into something bigger. MGIH might be going higher here. The MGIH.
Again, we're waiting to get filled at 3. I do not have a fill yet. We're trying to be patient with this one. MTAL, if you're into that stock, that has been halted.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're looking for a MGIH fill around 3. Got it.
Yeah.
I need to pay more attention to you. That's for sure.
That's okay. I mean, you're still calling out the stock in case people are in that one. But me, all right, cool. Looks like I did go and get filled. So SPY that we went ahead and got filled. Let me go to SPY real quick. Our game plan of having this resistance area turn into support has worked out. We are out of that trade. I did not get filled on my 435 that I wanted, right? So I didn't get 200 shares. I only got 100. We're out of our SPY trade with a dub. AUUD, which reminds me of Audi for obvious reasons. That one's looking to make a move towards $1, stopped at 95 cents or so.
By the way, those Amazon calls that we flagged yesterday, the one for October 140s, 555 ask, up 25% overnight.
Nice.
I didn't play them, so not nice for me, but
Boo.
Nice spot. MGIH looks like it's going for that 368 high here. Yeah, I have a high print 340 in terms of just kind of like the volume level here. It's going for that. 368 looks to be that spot it's going to test here.
Boom, 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 boom.
Jay, good to see you back this morning. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully everything's well in Scottsdale.
Yeah, and MGIH, if you're in this one, would consider cutting it, especially as you approach this 350 area, because this would definitely be where I'd be wanting to take gains.
Yeah, and if you can, I would say maybe peel half at that 368 test if we get it. 340 just fell, 342 your high print, and a little bit of a pullback here. Oh, I gotta fill it. Hang on, I gotta fill up his other water cup once.
On the wow, SPY is just ripping now. By the way, this is coming back to test VWAP. Could bounce here, could bounce at $3. Obviously, I'm wanting to fill at 3, but then I'm not sure if it'd be strong enough to hold on to it. By the way, if I do get filled at 3, my stop loss would be a break of 280s. And look at that. We asked if you wanted to go ahead and trim there. You probably should. But look at the SPY. What a great bounce from the support level that we drew at 435.14s. Nice little ripper for $1 on the SPY. We caught about 50 cents of that move. Did I just get filled on something? Hold on. Where is my... What were we looking at? MGIH. Looks like I did get filled at 3. Okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
All right, MGIH. So I got filled at $3. My stop loss, like I said, is going to be at 279. So 279 is where I have my stop loss.
Okay, I'll join you here at 3.
All right, let's do it. 80 cents.
I'm going to have a much tighter stop.
Fair enough.
See if we bounce here. All right, MGIH coming back. Let's see if we can move through here and bounce. We break down again, I'm out, Zunid.
I gotcha. So taking a look at the 1 minute chart, I would look to go ahead and sell some around 314s or so, which is right near VWAP, if we even can go ahead and get right back up there. And then my second target would be this 340. But for now, we're not even able to hold on to $3 as we're 6 cents below. And there we go. 7 cents below, or 7 cents away from my stop loss, that is.
Big selling volume here. I still think that we might bounce.
Well, so the reason I have my stop loss at break of 280 is because you can see right here, we hold on to support once, twice, 3 times. And, you know, let's see how it happens in the session itself.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sometimes buying these knives have actually produced better trades than buying the breakouts. That's part of the impetus for my trade here. But I did step away and came back, saw it down, and was like, oh, I'll take a stab here. We'll see if it ends up working. It wants to. Volume's looking really good.
Come on. Let's see what the SPY's doing real quick. If you're interested in shorting the SPY, there's 2 areas to do it, in my opinion. This 436.50 area here, or the crack of this 435, but nothing in between. Nvidia, by the way, testing 400. I tried to play this one last time in my prop account, and the spread just...
I'm out here, Zuned.
Oh, man, that means it's probably ugly, huh?
It's right back down to the lows. Just I can't get too red on a trade too early here.
I understand that. We are still in it.
And here comes the bounce.
Come on, touch a VWAP. Get to know it a little bit. Say hello.
Is that how your dates go?
Yeah, pretty much. Be like, come on, just stay till dessert at least.
Not even gonna touch that one.
That's what she said. Take a look at the SPY.
Oh my!
As it makes new session highs again. Let's see how it behaves around resistance at this 436.50 area. Let's go ahead and draw a cute little shadow. So right around there. Oh man, I'd love to go short here.
Market bouncing here.
I'd love to go short here just a little bit. All right, I'm gonna go short. Come on, sell it, sell it, sell it. All right, I'm short at, where am I short? 436.49s. My stop loss is going to be the 76s. It looks like I did go ahead and get filled on my
stop out.
Yes, thank you.
For MGIH, has that moved lower here? So that one didn't work.
I'm going to look to take gains on my SPY short at around 436.
OLB bouncing here. You're right, Crow. Bouncing off what? 82. What is that? 83. Yep, bouncing off 83. Looking like it's trying to take one. YS at lows. iBio at lows. A lot of the stuff on the relative volume scanner at lows here. Maybe we get that reversal.
Come on. All right, we're about 13 cents in the money on our SPY short, but obviously we're looking for at least about 40, 50 cents. Oh, no. Don't go that way. The other way. My stop loss is right here.
FWBI curling back to the top here.
TBLA halted. On FWBI, obviously, if you can get over 3 in base, that'd be a good area to get in.
Intel already coming down here towards the 33s. It's a big pop here earlier today, so I think I got to take a little bit of profits today. So I'm going to take about like 30% off there. Just cashed in some Intel there. That's from 3093s, and this was a bigger swing position for me. So sometimes you just got to take some cash, man. Should have took it there at like 34s. Going to take it here at 33s on the pullback here. It did get back above this high here that I was looking for, 33.84. But really quickly, what does that candle look like? Doesn't look bueno here. So I'm going to at least take some profits, pay myself. Took 30% off of the position. Still have a decent size still left, so I can keep this working. It's up 7%. Same thing for Square. Square is actually giving me a little bit of a push today. I might actually sell out in Square eventually, but I'm just looking to see if this could work back to 70. That's really where my target was. I've taken some money on this. XOM down a little bit, getting a little bit of a pop back today. I'll look to see if it comes back down later in the day.
Out on my SPY short. What's up?
FWBI here, trying some up here. It's risky. I think that we probably push through 3 here. Going to have another tight stop on this one, looking like 275. Let's see if FWBI can push here. Nope, right down to, almost to the stop level, not quite.
QS on my radar did give me an alert.
Quantum Skype.
Man, I'm a little late to that one. Nice little pop there. We'll see if that one can keep going. $7 stock. So if you're looking for something cheaper, QS looking interesting.
There's some size here at 290 on FWBI, and I imagine if that gets snapped, we probably go to 3 here. That's where I bought, interestingly enough. So there was obviously plenty of stock for sale there. This was small for me. This is only 500 shares.
Okay, this is kind of interesting. I'm going to take a stab at it real quick. FTCH, I went ahead and purchased as soon as this order
calls coming in for FTCH, by the way. You might have a round number pop.
That's exactly what we've got. So we've got the $6 calls coming in on the ask, expiring on the 23rd of June, approximately $100,000 worth. So I'm in here with 500 shares, waiting for a crack of 6 if we can get it.
FWBI coming back to that 290 spot. Remember, there's some size there that needs to go before this can really be uncorked.
I think my
there it goes.
Oh, you're looking at that.
Let's see if this goes. They might pull it again, but I think that they probably run and test 3 here. Let's see. FWBI.
Megan, I was saying you got FTCH, $6 calls coming in on the ask, expiring next week. About $100,000 worth of contracts were traded on there. And my belief is that they were purchases. I am in the equity here at 598.
Tesla trying to hold for right now. We'll see if it makes that next step up. Multiple bottoms in the same area on the 5-minute. You got around 253.41. This looks like it wants a little higher for now. I'm going to let it try to go higher, and then eventually we'll see what happens later in the day. Nvidia pulling back after a 400 touch and now pulling back, trying to recollect there at the 400 spot. We'll see if that comes back towards 404. AMD, definitely an interesting watch today. Of course, their event at 12 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see if this is a run into that. But right now, it's been a big pullback here out the gates here for AMD. I do not know that one, Kevin. INNB. Do not know that one at all.
It rings a bell, but I can't place it.
No. I don't think I'll ever know this one.
Yeah, it's
you can
less
take
than
the
a penny.
screen, Mitch.
I'll show you it, guys. This is why. I'm sorry, Kevin, but I can't take you serious if you're bringing up a stock that's at 0.001. I'm sorry, Kevin. I love you and all, man, but damn, come on, bro. You got to bring me something else than that.
The 290 clearly the spot that FWBI needs to take here in order to get any other type of up move. They keep bringing in bids under it, but they keep selling into those bids. So possible that we actually reverse here.
Yeah, a lot of resistance in this area. At least I can see.
Yep.
So I think
that's the thing, Mitch.
Move already.
That's the thing, though. If it snaps that resistance, it's going to go.
Yeah. One thing is, I'd look to see if the stock has made 3 drives. And so if you look here, what do you see? First
3 drives.
Second drive, 3 drives. This is the failing kind of drive, at least in my eyes. And that's the just pattern outlook. That's Dow theory. But that's just the way I look at it. Doesn't mean that it can't go, but is this a 1, 2, 3? Is this a 5 wave already? That's what you got to be asking yourself. SPY coming down here, definitely, man. I was watching to see what happens in XOM. SPY is now pulling back a little bit. I think, we could still see this push a little bit further. Look where we're at now, guys. Just goes to kick that when all that bank concern was here, I should have been jumping in long. And that just goes to show me, whenever those worries come out in the market, everyone crying about something, I'm going to be looking at something else. Let me just say that much. Big turn in Nvidia.
Nasty pullback in FWBI. Didn't have the stop set, so didn't get filled. Trying to get it on a pop back here. Man, this has been rough. We're almost at VWAP, so at this point, I might as well hold out for VWAP.
Is this the day that the SQQQs go ripping? And we just got a 25-cent pop there in the SQQQs. Qs coming down fast. Nvidia coming down fast. AMD's really weak. How's Apple doing? That got a downgrade. They got a pop now coming right back down. Microsoft down. Google down. So it looks like we're getting a little bit of a pullback to start the day at least. Amazon down significantly. It's 948. We'll see if it turns around, but it doesn't look good right now. So if anything, I'm going to be looking for shorts in this market to try to go after. We'll see what happens.
If you're looking to go short on Nvidia, I would see if you can go ahead and have this 15-minute candle close below 400 and have it come back on the retest.
Stopped out FWBI. Getting my ass kicked this morning.
You've got, so if this candle closes, comes back and tests around this white area, which is near VWAP in 400, could be a decent area to go short. Stop loss would be about 402.48.
Looking for some pullback action below 3650s here for SARK. I'll take a shot if I can get it.
And you lower ACHR. Actually, this one might be going higher here. So all out FWBI took another loss there. That's 0 for 2 here today in the main account, unfortunately.
Hey, it happens to the best of us, my friend. All right, getting that pullback and start trying to get in some of this SARK to the upside on the prop account.
On FTCH, we're pretty much at break even. I bought in at 598. We're currently trading at 596.
Just took a starter there. Starter at 3644s on SARK. Trying to add towards the VWAP and below.
Looking around.
MG.
Yeah.
Well, you got
Sod, I
killed.
lost on MGIH too. Kept it small though. Got to keep the losses small when you take them. That's why it's not the end of the world.
I'm interested in where your entry and stop loss were.
Me or
And if you,
Sod?
not you, Sod. Sorry.
All right, starting to get a little bit of a movement here, and Sark trying to add to this position at 50s now as it starts to kind of push up here.
Got Amazon straight down out of the open. Apple too, really. I guess it's spiked on the open and then regressed the entire move. Yeah.
Megan, yeah, that 87 though, definitely. I mean, there was no way we could have got it though, right? I mean, yesterday tested, it came right back down. That would have been like a 50-cent loss. Today, it was just pre-market, didn't even fully come back and really test it. So honestly, it's not this. There just wasn't much we could have done. Now, if he wants to come back and test it, yeah, sure, that's an area we could be interested in, but that's all we could have done. EFWBI, FBI, Microsoft 330 puts coming in. $3. I mean, that's still, the resistance area right there, $3. And then also this, what is that, 290? Yep, 290 on the dot. Microsoft looking to make low a day. If Microsoft goes red to green, I think we can get to 330s. So here's one support area, this 332. And then the next one that I've got is this 330. So if it breaks this, comes back and retests, I'd be interested in going short. PLTR 15. Yeah, I mean, so 15 we've been talking about for quite some time on PLTR. MGIH. Let's see what's going on with that. Hanging out there.
MGIH disappeared off my relative volume scanner. FWBI coming back on here, which is annoying. A little size there at 285 on FWBI.
Oh, man.
All right, what do you guys got out there? What are you guys looking at?
I'm still watching FWBI because I like pain.
No worries.
My issue with this is that now that I've taken a loss on it, I want to claw it back and I want to be able to get it back, but that can also increase the chance of a disaster happening.
I mean, like always, right? We never know if we're going to win or lose on any trade. Yep. The only thing we can do is take processed approach.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
I'm going to go ahead and try a short here on Nvidia. I got filled at, oh man, that was almost so close. $400.66. Stop loss for me is going to be approximately 402.69. So giving it a couple of bucks.
Looking for a little bit more pullback here to add some more SARK. Want to see if the Qs can come down today. If not, then we can always just kind of jump back into some green names. Carvana is bottoming out around 2137s. Talked about the news today and how that could maybe affect Carvana, but keeping an eye on it.
Actually, that FTCH, that Farfetch off the backs of those calls earlier, Zunaid, that actually looks good. Nice looking chart here. If it can take the top off there. Are you still in that?
Yep, still in it. Let me tell you my average price on those puppies.
596, I think you said.
Yes. No, 598. It was at 596 when I called it out. 598 is my average price. And now we are looking to break 6.
Yeah, size here. Okay, and they brought size back in at 598. They're trying to take that size.
So let's go ahead and see if they do take it. Where is my profit taking going to be? I think definitely around 618, we're going to trim half. So 20 cents. We're going to look to trim half, which makes sense because my stop loss is going to be close to 20 cents. Anyway, what was I short again? Nvidia, which is not looking pretty. Let's go back here.
Yeah, tech looking like it's trying to bounce here.
I'm going to need it to not.
Trying to be patient here on SARK for the ads. I still like this chart. I'm just trying to let it work.
If this bounce in the NASDAQ fails, I might take a look at SOXS.
Okay. Not a bad outlook. At least you know what
No,
you're going
that's
for, my
that.
friend.
Yeah, well, that the processed approach, right? I'm trying to come up with a process here. I'm watching Farfetch, but I don't see it getting above this 598, 599 level. Definitely some size there.
Definitely having a tough time. I went and added to my short on Nvidia, so now my average price on my Nvidia short is 401.05.
Okay. Slowly building up my SARK. Just added a little bit in SARK.
IWM outperforming the NASDAQ today. If that continues, you could see tech continue to come in.
Yeah, that's a trend I would look to continue seeing. Maybe IWM long, Qs short as kind of a little bit of a pairs trade action out there. It's not a bad way to look at it.
IWM up 1%, Q's up 0.5%.
IPX halted.
Yep, IPX halted. Good call.
Yee.
Halted to the upside, 14.29 on that IPX halt. 15.98 again here for Farfetch.
All right, we are in the money on our Nvidia short again. Average price is 401.05. Currently trading at approximately $400.80. I lied. Oh, what is my that thing just jumped quickly as soon as I said it jumped. Nice, way to go, buddy.
I'm just watching the Qs here to see if they go down. Really, I think that's an important outlook here.
Wiss, are you in IPX? That's a monster trade if you are. Nice job on that one.
Nvidia back at VWAP. Does it come down
Caught it
here,
later than you wanted,
or does it go up from here? I think that's one thing to look at.
On the Qs, I mean, it depends on where you go short and things like that. But the first target for me would be this previous close of 360.50.
Yeah, I can't do it on that chart at least.
So that's a good question. And for me, it's the fact that you had the 10-minute close below 400, which is a psychological level where it did find support, and it was below VWAP as well. All right, we are in the money by about 50 cents, so feel free to go ahead and take some off the table. Matter of fact, I am going to take, where is my, I just went ahead, no, I didn't, not yet, because my computer's going slow. Paid too much money for this to happen. All right, went ahead and took a third off at $400.11 on the Nvidia short. What I would love to see is this 10-minute candle, which has a minute 20 left to go, to close below 400, and then we get a test back to 398.
All right, Q's looking like they want to break through the lows here. Let's see if they break through the lows and things go a little lower. I'm going to add maybe on SARK here one last time and look for the big push.
Well, tell them now, hurry up.
All right, taking my last ad there in SARK, average 36.43. He's looking for the big push now. So I'll see if I get the SARK push here. I got the Qs. I'm looking for the Qs to go through this double or triple bottom here at 361.33s. Looking for SARK to get up here through this trend line and start to hold this now. Break to the upside, 36.70s. First spot that I'll be looking at, 36.75s, and then maybe back here towards yesterday's action of 37.
Nvidia short in the money by $1.50. Go ahead and trim some if you took that trade. And Weiss, I apologize if I butchered that. So that's a thing that a lot of people have, is they have kind of like a shot clock, a mental clock, where it's like, hey, if this move doesn't happen in X or immediately, I'm getting out because it didn't do what I thought it would do. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's something that a lot of people do use. By the way, that 10-minute candle did close below 400. So I like this trade even more. I already took a third out. We are in the money by about $1.50, as I mentioned. I should probably trim some here too, though. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and trim some
Nvidia
more
rejected.
here. Nvidia went ahead and covered another third at.
All right, took some Farfetch on the breakthrough 598. We'll see if it ends up going here.
Yeah, pump it up.
Long 598 here, ticker FTCH. Want to see it move through 628, the intraday high from Friday.
Yep.
Doesn't look too bad, at least. Nice little stair step chart.
We
See
had
if you get an
we had call
expansion
buying
move.
earlier too, Mitch. So that's one of the things we're playing on here.
And I can't blame
Yes,
those calls, right? Because they're looking at the daily and they're seeing it just stair step up. And it's not as scary as getting an option on the stock that just goes up and comes right back down, right? And so those are the ones that I would be a little bit more worried about. Like biotechs that make like, let's say like 1 day up, 1 day down moves. This is just slowly working its way higher. And the MACD doesn't look bad on it. Q's trying to reverse off that same level, the level that I was looking at, 361, like 30 levels. Now you got what? 4 bottoming actions in there. Let's see if it comes back through VWAP 363.
IPX is open. And boy, to the upside we launch. Looking to break 16. There's 16. There's 17.
Wow,
Approaching
big
50
move,
cents away from that.
IPX. Are you in that, Zune? Did you trade that? Or you...
Nope. Just
same.
All right, getting a test here on SARK. Won't let it go through the 23s here, but definitely getting a test back, and the Qs starting to come back up here. So you could see some up action here with the Qs coming back.
I mean, what a move. Now we went ahead and tagged 1750s on IPX. By the way, Nvidia, this is why you want to go ahead and take gains as you have them and not be too greedy, because if you hadn't taken gains, right? We took a third around 400. We took a third around, what was it? 399.58. You would have been pissed at yourself. My stop loss is still going to be this crack of 402.79.
FTCH back up at 6 here. Definitely some size here. I think if this goes, maybe we get a pop on FTCH.
Come on, baby.
All right, we'll see what happens in the Qs later today. I think that will determine a lot. If it comes back to 363, that's kind of like upside action. All right, looking to see if Apple can recover 183.50s. Just looking around here, team.
Nvidia coming back to 400, rejecting from that same 402 area. FTCH pop, what's your opinion? So I am in at 598. I believe Ryan is in as well.
598. Yeah, looking for a 6 break here. Stop right below VWAP 592.
Yep.
Let's see the wall on that. There has to be a wall.
6. There's seller wall at 6.
Looks like our good friend Unity is crossing 3862s. I know a lot of people were trading that a few days ago. The next area of resistance for me is going to be approximately 39.45, but FTCH is the
Unity
stock in focus.
pushing strong. Getting the breakout there now in ARKK stocks a lot. So I'm thinking I'm getting stopped out here in SARK, but just going to hold on to the risk to reward. That's all that matters.
What are we doing with the SPY? Let's go ahead and check out the SPY. I'm not doing anything with the SPY. The only way I'm going short on this is if we go ahead and break this 435 and come back on the test like we did Nvidia. But besides that, I'm not touching it. Nvidia does not want to give up the 4 and bleed lower. See what the Qs are doing. I expect the Qs to at least go ahead and touch this previous close, but maybe it wants to touch VWAP first and then go down, or just says no thank you. I don't know.
think 362 is an important one. It's an hourly 9 EMA kind of pullback level. So we're getting hourly pullbacks here. This is usually when institutions love to grab it on the cheap. So just be careful because we could see a rip up to the upside in both ways, I think, here. Let's just keep an eye on it.
Farfetch back at 6. They're hitting that offer at 6. Not enough to clear it yet, but we'll see if we do.
About to get stopped out here in SARK. Stop. Almost out. It's like 1 cent away.
Farfetch, big volume pop here.
You're looking at the 1 minute?
Looking at the 1 minute. Big volume stick, biggest of the day here.
Right
you take
there.
6 out here, I think we probably move at this point. They're still hitting it. There's more stock for sale, but they're taking it.
All right, got hit there on SARK. Qs look like they want to come back. We'll see if they come back or not. It's looking good there for a second there. Was in the green. Right back into the red. Just got to keep battling on the day. Not done yet.
Come on, take the 6.
Nope. Hit back down. There's a lot of stock there, Zune. That's going to be your biggest volume shelf of the day. 181,000 shares traded at that price point. That's more than any other price point here today. Definitely a seller wall there. That's going to need to get taken out. We might be on pullback now.
I've gone after the wrong one. XQQQs never went even back to the VWAP. That shows me strength there on that. The Qs are still weak. Just might have gone after the wrong one there in SARK as it's starting to come back, and could have got stop hunted because it went right to my stop. Like it felt like it was getting stop hunted, and that's how it is sometimes when you have stops placed. SARK already back to 36.26. I'm going to see if the Qs make another leg lower, and here they go, 36.27. It just could have been literally just going after the wrong vehicle. SOXS is continuing to the upside. SQQQs are continuing to the upside. So we'll see what happens. Energy in the green today, basic materials, financial services. I'm going to start looking at gold because I definitely want to see what happens later in the day. But looking at these basic materials that are up today.
IPX halted to the downside.
Tapas asking, what volume are you trading on FTCH? I just have 500 shares. I'm still reduced volume across the board on all trades.
Nvidia looks like it's coming down right here. We'll see if it does crack or does it just come right back to the upside.
Ooh, come on, baby.
AMD's cracking to the downside there.
So good news and bad news. On our FTCH, we're down about 10 cents or so. Actually, we're down about 6 cents. But on our Nvidia, we are up about, what are we up here? Come on, switch for me, please. Thank you. We're up about $2. So feel free to do what you want if you took that trade. I'm practicing patience, so I am going to just leave it be, which is going to stop me out. But, you know, we'll see how it goes.
Market looks like it wants to go lower here today.
Well, can it already do so, please?
That's how it goes sometimes, man.
Can it
Thinking
just
about
do
shorting
that?
the rocket that is Nvidia here, but I'm with you, Zunaid. I see that rejections multiple times in this space.
Yeah, we've been short since 401.82s in terms of average prices now, but
Taking a little shot here off 401.20s. So I'm going to have to keep it really tight, but taking a shot off 401.20s.
Gio, are you saying the short party's over and that you're trying to go long? Oh, never mind. And you said NVDS. My bad. Dyslexic. I read that as NVDA. And I read it as the Qs. And I read it as Tesla. But in reality, you're talking about the inverse.
Thinking if I just take the profits really quickly on Nvidia there, it made a really nice move really quickly. I could take like 150 off here, but I'm just going to just try to keep letting it work, see if I timed it right, but definitely don't want to see it back above VWAP here.
You're
That's where
short
it gets
Nvidia?
hard. Yeah, I mean, like you talked about earlier, sometimes you want to go and really quickly take profits. Sometimes you want to let the stock work. I'm more of a let the stock work kind of guy, so I'm going to keep doing that. But the problem is that there is some profits there that you get immediately on the first side a lot of the times on Nvidia, and you're thinking, do I just run to that quick little profit? We'll see what happens.
AMD is looking to find support at that 127. Come on, just die off, Nvidia. Just kaput.
Let the Qs just crack. That the Qs keep cracking, that we can get that Nvidia move that we're looking for.
Well, the question is, what do we do with this FTCH, Ryan?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't want to let it really sell off much more. I'm already 0 for 2, looking at an 0 for 3 here if we stop out of this. The play to bust 6 still in play here. The last pull pretty much took it to the VWAP here, so we're kind of just sitting at VWAP. It's trying to push above still. I would say another downdraft from the VWAP here, Zunaid. Probably just cut it and wait for it to set up again. Maybe we get a pop. Maybe we get a volume pop here.
Well, stop loss for me is now at 589.
There's a volume shelf there at 589 as well.
Come on, Nvidia.
Trying to keep patient, trying to be patient. It's hard. It's hard to be patient in that Nvidia.
There's a trend line support on Nvidia. Sorry, y'all. It's been an early morning for me. A lot of yawning. Oh, man.
Wish it was a better morning for me here, but nothing I'm doing is working.
It's okay, man. It's not an easy market right now. And I know that one for sure. No, I'm battling.
For sure,
yeah. Take that 5 RAS. You know, I was watching this trader because I'm always trying to find traders to bring on the show.
There we go. Nice little leak there. Sorry about that. I'm just watching Nvidia,
you
man.
Good? No, you
trying to make that money with you, bro.
We've got it on the screen. We are headed to the downside. We are now in the money by $3. Let's go, baby. And the Qs are doing what? Touching the previous close. Now, do we find support here for a bounce or not? Is going to be the question.
Trying to take some off there. Oh my God, Nvidia. No fill. You suck.
I'm out at 399.24. I'm out.
You suck there. Did you mark it? I tried to limit there at 399, 398.60s. No fill, and it just right back up, guys.
Where'd you take it, Kevin? Interested in where you took it.
That's a little frustrating.
Cool. So we talked about it touching the previous close. It's done that. Now I would not be surprised. Sorry, I just got distracted. Those options.
Farfetch at 589 here.
No. Oh, yeah. I'm out. All right. I just looked over to my broker and it said I'm out. So I'm out.
Yeah. I want to see if it bounces here. If it ticks 1 cent lower, I'm out.
Half off on Nvidia. Just made a nice little gain there. Looking to see if we can break through 398s. Qs are going down here, so I'm watching just the Qs. Qs bounce, I'll probably just take the profits, but Nvidia is coming lower here. Can we break the 398s? We're going lower. 325s. Now we're starting to get a little bit of a bounce there. There is the crack. We're cracking there.
Out Farfetch, 0 for 3 today. Rough day.
All right, taking it. Nice little profit there. Bounce back there, guys. Just made like close to 300 on that. Lost like 145 earlier on the SARC. So
nice clawback.
I had to put myself back into the green. Now back up about like 124. I could have kept that Nvidia there, but really the key here is if I didn't lose on SARC, I'd probably hold on to that Nvidia right there and look for a bigger break. But that's from top of the range to the bottom of the range. There's no point in me being a little bit greedy here. I shorted at the VWAP. I'm taking it right here at the low of the day, kind of pretty much. And so that's okay for me. I satisfied, pat on the back. Let's keep trading. Let's go. All right, not too bad there. So actually the limit fill kind of actually helped me because I was actually able to get out the first profits towards 54s and then 26.
Indeed, Jesse, that's what we always hope for. Yesterday wasn't a bad day either. So today's just kind of a regression back to the mean. 0 for 3 here, all on reduced size. So like the overall loss here is about $150. So nothing that's really going to crush me, but just frustrating that none of the stuff that we tried worked.
I'm going to watch later for AMD because it's on a leak down, right? The event starts at 12 p.m. Eastern. I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to be watching.
It could sell off on that event. It could sell off.
Yeah, the big thing with me, Ryan, is that it looks like it's having to sell off already. So
selling off into the event.
Exactly, selling off into the event. So I don't know, maybe we get an announcement and it spikes. I know the algos are going to be watching that event like crazy, trying to jump on anything. And I think that Dennis Dick talked about something that was very interesting today, guys. Listen in if you guys didn't catch it. So one thing that he talked about was specifically that the algos right here are struggling to find what stocks have true AI and don't have AI, right? Because the truth is that they have to wait till the press release come out, right? The truth is we can make a little bit more of assumptions here. So I think that that's one thing that we need to all be thinking about, that the algos are kind of reacting more to the headlines that hit the tape, and they're kind of late to the AI bubble. And that's also what's driving this AI bubble even higher, I think, on these earnings reports, right? And so we got to keep watch to see if the algos just keep catching anything like new product releases, things like that, and they immediately buy those types of mentions, something that I'm looking out for. CVS strong on the day. That's important outlook to catch because that means UNH is one that I'd be looking at for a 500 move. So I've been talking about this for a while now. Look how this is setting up here for a move to 500. Today it's at 493s. I'd have to risk off of like maybe 491s here if I wanted to take a swing trade. I actually don't mind it. Just got to be careful with this sizing because, right, we're talking about what, 7 points higher. And then what would that be? Well, just got to keep the risk and reward in mind, right? 2 points risk, 7 points higher. Understand the risk to reward, so you keep that in mind. Another one I like here is ELV, Elviance. CVS, you said is doing well today. Let's take a look. Nice little push higher.
I mean, yeah, I see Gio's comment about, hey, I want you to, completely wash out. Look, you have support intraday on Nvidia, right? You got to go and take your gains.
Yeah,
it's
sometimes
it's going to come back to test this trend line here. So we'll see if this acts as resistance as it was acting as support. I've drawn it out to where I would look to go short again at this $400 in that trend line test, but let's see what happens here. So far, no go.
Vuzi had a nice run out of the gate here. This is pulling back towards the VWAP. We're only 2 cents away on Vuzi. YS closing that gap between VWAP and the bottom here today at 150. So it looks like it bounced off that. YS looking good. I'm a little late to that. Vuzi here, pull back to the VWAP would be ideal. We'll see if we end up getting it.
All right, guys, I think I'm going to finally get out of the grab share that I've been holding in the Moomoo account for forever. So let's go ahead and let's just really quickly talk about that. Of course, this was a free share that I got on the Moomoo account. And for some reason, it's coming down a little bit today. I've let it come up. Unrealized, and just in the one share is up about 13%. So really, what am I thinking? What am I going to get more out of this? There's not much that I'm going to get out of it. So you know what? Selling out. Don't remind me again. I'll use the market order. Boom, boom. Took the gains there off there. So I don't have the grab share anymore. I'm just going to take those gains and just keep pushing. We'll see if I can get a trade in the Moomoo account today. I only got 1 day trade. As you guys can see, I've taken 2 small little hits, but the key is keeping this hit small and keeping the wins higher, right? We had an $18 day in the month earlier, and I've had 2 like $5, a $3.73. So keeping the small losses and of course bigger gains. That's what we want to do in the small account. All right, like always, you guys can check out Moomoo. I'm going to throw up the link in the top right corner. And of course, you guys can always use the QR code. Hit that QR code. It also stays up on the top right. All right, kicking it to you guys. What are you guys looking at?
Just nothing really on my end.
Yeah, I'm still watching the IWM here. IWM is definitely breaking out and still outperforming Qs. IWM up 1.15%. Qs flat here. So as long as that continues, I think tech might continue to come in. That's what we're seeing so far here. Vuzi now 1 cent below VWAP. Jay saying some nasty rotation, beat up stuff like energy, seeing some buying. Yeah, that's going to make days like this a little bit more difficult.
Here's Boeing coming back to retest the breakout area.
All right, Nvidia right back up, guys. Right back up. That's how easy it goes. That was already a risky short earlier. I don't think I'll take it again, man. Unless I see the Qs just completely start to wipe out. Qs are starting to bounce a little bit here. AMD trying to bounce off 127, but I don't think I'm going to go after it just yet. I think there is some traders maybe taking a shot right now because I can see the volume increasing here, but I don't know if I want to take the shot off the 127. This is the hard part. Tesla gap fill, I've been looking for it. There's a gap right on top. It did go for a second there and then quickly turned around. I'll show you guys that in just a second. I need to get my extra cam up. All right, guys, how we doing out there, team? We're going to keep battling here today. We also got an all-access interview for you guys coming up later today. Zunaid, you knocking that one out, or is it an AB day?
Today it'll be me.
Yeah.
Today it will be me.
Austin asking. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's all you.
Austin's asking, Ryan, what's the stock that you traded that's a tech plane company? It was like 350. I believe you're talking about ACHR. That's Alpha Charlie Hotel Romeo. That's Archer Aviation. They do the air taxis. Them and Joby are going to be your two leaders in that. That trade was basically a scalp through 350. Now, interestingly enough, ACHR here, 413. So this is actually grinding higher. If you actually take a look at the 15-minute chart, you can get a really good idea of the run that this stock has made here. Again, look at Joby if you're looking at this one as well. I have no position in it at the moment.
I got an interesting trade for you guys to look out for. I was watching to see if this would happen. It's the KRE trade. So look at the daily chart on KRE. Came right back to the 90 MA, catches that right back up here. Could see banks continuing higher today. JPM, Bank of America, Citigroup, PACW. Why not, right? I mean, these are the stocks that I think could get a little bit of a lift today. PACW just got above the VWAP wall, making a little bit of a move up. Will Schwab ever get the move? Looks like it's getting the move today a little bit today. Finally starting to shake some of that worry from the banking situation. Will this start to make a move? I like the daily kind of trend line here. If it could just start pushing towards 55 and above, doesn't look too bad there on CHW. Starbucks, is it reversing off the bottom? I know I had that bottoming action here. It is trying. I'd like to see it get to 100 first. I never trade Starbucks well, so I'm going to probably leave it on the sideline. I'll tell you guys right now, I've tried to short this name plenty of times. I've tried to long this name plenty of times. I just usually don't trade it well. On the hourly, this is what I see. I kind of see like a little bit of a trend break to the upside, trying to get back above this resistance here, 99.15, and then push back towards 100. We'll see if it can get the lift. Definitely needs to hold kind of pullbacks right now towards like a 98.38 or even below towards 98. We'll see if it makes a move to 100. It doesn't look too bad right there. It's just I have a tendency of not trading it well. You can see here on the 5-minute how it does look good on the VWAP style, but man, I have a tendency of not doing so well or so hot on Starbucks. Does it look decent? Yeah, that chart looks decent. Sinead.
Oh, when you switch it.
Yeah, no, I just love doing it. All right.
Come on, Nvidia.
You're looking for what? Nvidia to keep going?
I don't even know yet.
My guy said, I'm just looking for something, bro. Don't know yet.
Yeah.
Thoughts on AMD setups later? I'll take a look, man. I think I'll talk about it, especially as we get towards the end of the stream today, because that event's at like 12. So right now, I think it's not the time for me, and I'm looking to see if the Qs reject here and just go lower. If they do go lower, I think Nvidia could go right back down through that. But I have to keep the risk to reward. If I go after Nvidia, super, super tight on the risk side and a little bit more expansive on the reward. So for now, I mean, it's like if I went after the stock right here, I'd have to risk about 70 cents. So that's a little bit difficult too, right? Because the spread is about 20. And with the Qs doing what they're doing and just hanging out here, that's when it gets hard. If they were just completely leaking, I'd probably go short Nvidia, but I'm not going to take the shot right now because the SPY could come back up. SPY seems like it's rotating a little bit more than the Qs. Of course, the Qs are heavily tech weighted, and so that's why I think you're seeing them down a little bit today. And if you look at what's down on the day from the open, there's only one sector. It's technology. So this is why I always try to point to this. I think it's so important to kind of always take a look to see what sectors are doing well and what's not. You can see technologies come down here from the open. Will we get a spike right back?
Looking at CENN, a penny stock here, potentially for the Moomoo account. Looks like 31 cent. It's got a block there. Let's go ahead and unlock the trade here. So if we start chipping away at 31 cents, might take some here. You can see here's this block that we're looking at. Actually, you know what? We're just going to go straight 1,000 shares here.
And you're looking at CEN, a CIN?
CENN.
Got you. Smaller name, man.
Yeah, it's just the small account. We'll see. We saw SEV really go crazy yesterday, so kind of wondering if we get the same thing here in CENN.
All right, going to pull that down, keeping an eye on the cues, keeping an eye on what's going to happen here. I feel like we're going to get another little speed up here. I'm trying not to over jump into stocks right now because I feel like we're getting indecision day. And with that being said, Qualcomm pulling back. Do I want some Qualcomm? Oh, I actually don't mind this. I like how it came down through the 123.50s, now holding the 123.50s. That's kind of the level that I would look for pullbacks to hold towards. So we'll see what happens here on Qualcomm, if it can make a move back towards 125. So we got both of our charts up pretty much. You guys see Ryan's there on bottom right. I'm on the left here. I can also make it another screen so that we can kind of keep up with Ryan's there if it's too small. Looking to see if the Qualcomm is going to go back through 124.
So we're filled. We're long 1,000 shares here at 31.
All right,
CENN. We want 31 to fall here. So that's really going to determine whether or not this is going to work.
You know what I want? I want it to chirp higher, baby. Let's go.
Ha. Yeah, so does Cleo. Cleo, what are you singing about?
Chirp higher, baby. That's what she's saying.
This is the hymn, but there's been a lot of bird
Cleo
activity out there that he's been singing at. So we'll see
he's singing for us.
We'll see if CENN here. Well, this will be a day trade in the small account challenge.
All right, Nvidia now rejecting that 400 move. Now that's where it could be kind of where I could risk from if I wanted to take a shot here. And you see it coming down really fast here. I don't mind if I can get a 399.50 average here, but it is coming down pretty quickly here. As I start to see that get hit, I'm going to be looking for other stocks to get hit. Apple getting hit right now. Microsoft getting hit. Let's take a look there. Bigger stocks starting to get hit and starting to leak. Even Tesla leaking a little bit here. We'll see what happens if the Qs could turn around. The Qs look a little weak right now. There you go. There you go. I see you taking that trade, baby. We'll see what happens. Still got that grab share, I see.
Yeah, definitely still have the grab share. I'm waiting to get my other shares.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I just said, you know what? I'm sick of seeing it there. I'm just going to get rid of it, but I'm with you on it.
Yeah, I'm not sick of anything free in my account, so we're good.
Yeah, no, I want to kind of look at the daily account and like think about today's. It's kind of like neutral days. They put them as plus days on my account because it is a plus day, right? Like I made like a penny or two on grab, but that's what I'm looking at mainly, the statistics.
By the way, just getting reminded of this. Through some coworkers here. Go ahead and take the exit solo layout out. Market is closed on Monday, folks.
Yep.
You have a 3-day weekend. It is the Juneteenth holiday being observed on Monday. So 3-day weekend this week, no market on Monday.
Yep.
I'm looking at plays that are trying to get moving here. Interesting one that seems like it had some volume loading up yesterday was Rivian. It's trying to load up here. I don't know why, but we'll see if it actually makes a move on the day. I don't know if there's some Rivian news out there, but
Wiss says that means I'm golfing on Monday. Indeed, Wiss, that's exactly what I thought. Being reminded of that means more golf, which means happier Ryan. So we'll take it. Sinead looks pissed.
No,
I want to short Nvidia, but I'm not in it right now, Kevin. I missed my opportunity. I think it was through that 400 rejection on the 1 minute, but it was like a quick-lived 400 rejection.
Yeah, shorting it here wouldn't be something that I would be interested in doing. I would wait for a crack of this 398 and then maybe on the retest you could try it, but not above it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that outlook, right? Because what he's saying is like crack this, right? And then it retests it as resistance. This is what kind of happened here at the 400. That's why I said 400 would be that kind of that level, right? You crack through 400 and you come right back above it to 439s. You go right back down. On this one, 400. On this one, 421. And then it cracks right back down, right? So you could see we were using that a little bit as resistance. That's when I was like, okay, I'd take maybe like 399.50s, which was down here. And that's when I would have probably played it right towards that 398 and looking for the expansion move. But we're not getting it too, right? You get a bounce right off that 398. That's where you got to be careful.
Wes, I'm going to repeat this comment. Just FYI, I'm telling you I'm taking it. Exactly, Ryan. Exactly. Self-care. Oh, I'm totally going to take that and then reuse it because that's super good.
Well, Sark stopped me out at the low of the day today and now coming back up through my levels where I bought it, team, and actually above the levels where I bought it. So that just goes how it goes sometimes, right? Sometimes you're early. This situation, I was early on Sark, and now it's back into the green.
Nvidia low day.
Nvidia low of the day. There it is. So
sometimes you're the windshield, Mitch. Sometimes you're the bug. Today, I'm the bug.
Hey, it happens, my friend. All right, let's see what else we can get into and start getting after. Qs are going lower here, so I could look at stocks that are extended, trying to see them starting to come down. But the Qs could always reverse. I want to keep that always in mind. Seeing Tesla come down a significant amount today, but I'm already chasing here if I come after it. That's the hard part now, is that I think we're chasing here and jumping into names short now. That's the hard part of trying to be in front of the move or late to the move. XOM coming up to the levels where I'm starting to get interested in shorting. Especially 108.50s is a really nice, important level for me. I'm going to keep watch on that XOM. I want to short XOM later in the day for a day trade. I just got to be patient. That's when I've done really well in XOM. I've let it do this little up move, and then usually just cracks down. Like similar move was right here and went up move, and then later in the day, chapow, right back to the downside. So we'll see what happens on this one. Can it reject and then just go right back down? So you see how kind of these levels are getting a nice little spike through. I wanted to come up here towards maybe even 108.50s and then really crack right back down towards 107. If I look at crude oil today, I do see a spike that went towards 70, but then rejected that 70 move. It went to 69.75. And so I'll look to see if crude gets back above 70. If I do see that later in the day, I'm not taking this trade. But if I see it reject 70 one more time or something like that and starts heading back down through the 69, oh yeah, I'll be looking to short some more oil. All right, let's go to the Qs. Let's go to AMD. Now you're seeing that bounce in the Qs here, and now you're seeing AMD bounce a little bit here. This is when I would maybe start taking a little bit of a shot in AMD a little bit early. It went towards 127, tried to play there. I'm sure some volume came in here, and now you're starting to bottom around the 126. So that's kind of the level that I would risk off of now, and I got to always keep that in mind that it could go through that 126. So we'll look to see if we can get towards 126.50s and 126.25 before I jump in it and be too quick to the move. All right, FWBI looking nice. I'm not sure about that one. It just rejected off of that 3. And there was a big seller in the 3s, right? I feel like Brian talked about it, and I think that that's how easily you can run into a wall.
Yeah, I'm done with FWBI. It just didn't work today.
Yeah, it happens sometimes too, team. And I think that one thing that I look for, and I talk about this, is looking for 3 drives. And I really don't like to take place into the 4th drive. I like to take place into the 3rd drives. Those are usually where you get a nice little break to the upside. And then fourth drives usually have a tendency of reversing right on resistance. That's why I hate the fourth and fifth wave. And of course, this is like kind of more Dow theory. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about it, was I right on FWBI? I really don't know, but I wanted more long point towards understanding of Dow theory so that you can kind of understand how stocks sometimes move in waves.
Yeah, FTSEA is looking to break 6, Raz. No clue if it's going to actually happen or not. Bounce from VWAP.
Let's see the hourly level on that one, right? And what do you got? You kind of have a rounding bottom approach. So I kind of like how it's rounding bottoms, holding hourly pullbacks. And if anything, you made a little bit of a wick attempt this morning to crack some of those buyers through 585s. And so now it's looking like it wants to go through 6. At least the chart looks good, rounding bottom. Where does this 6 break take us to? Maybe 610 first, and then a little bit of a cup and handle style pattern through 625s. So you can see here, kind of rounding bottom. Will you get a nice little push towards like around maybe 610? Then kind of that cup and handle pullback towards 6, and then a takeoff towards 625s. That doesn't seem too bad for me on the outlook. There's 6 approaching there on FTCH. Far-fetched. You far-fetched, guys? IWM really.
Well, I took a loss on that. Where's that at, by the way?
Doesn't look too bad right now. RXT
right back up
is another one
I
point to. Software infrastructure name, trying to get above the $2 spot today. EDIT. I'm looking at the biggest names in the IWM. Ooh, this is a stock that has high short interest. I've been waiting to see if it takes off today. Really nice move there in BIG. So I'm looking for pullbacks on that to 750s, 725s. If I could get a pullback to 750, I don't mind taking a swing on this. This stock has high short interest, has a nice daily candle, starting to push a little bit higher. I'd keep an eye on it. Play also getting a nice little move up today. Look at that spike. Didn't expect to see that. Look at that, guys. I don't know why Play is making that big of a move right here. A big push. It's one of the leaders in the IWM on the day. I will point to that. And that's not hurting it. I'll tell you that much. AT. Interesting resorts and casino play up today. Also IWM. I'm focusing on IWM names today because IWM is going up. IWM is going up. Here's an interesting one. ALLG. What do you think about this one?
We've actually traded that one before. By the way, ASST trading up here, but we've traded ALLG before. Nice chart here today.
Interesting chart there. I'm actually thinking about it here. Just need to look at it a little bit more on like a deeper time frame.
Come on, like FTCH. I'm going to get back in here at 598. Just got filled.
I'll put you up. You want to explain what you see there?
Just the fact that it's regained VWAP and we're trying to bump up against 6 and try to break it. What you got, Ryan?
No, I was just saying it's trying to break 6. It's the same story as before.
Sure is. Great job, Carmen. Way to stay in the green.
Trying to see the book here in ALLG. See how this looks.
Term is interesting there, Crow. If it can break that 221, what is that? 227 and 222. That is an interesting chart.
Big resistance at 382 on this ALLG, but I really do like it. I'd have to take it off kind of like 325s here, but I do see the Qs starting to work its way back, and that could give us a little bit of a lift, and stocks could start rising here. So I don't mind this outlook here. Just got to go ahead and understand what my risk to reward is, and that's always the most important thing. I like it.
Top spiking. On volume, top.
Trying to get some here at 338s for ALLG.
See what we got here.
This is the leading stock in the IWM on open from the open. So I'm trying to get a shot. We'll see what happens. All right, what are you guys looking at in the chat? I see some SoFis being mentioned, NIO, RKLB daily. So there's some stocks being mentioned out there.
Yeah, we're mainly in still if FTCH still in that 598. Yep. Waiting for that 6 crack.
Trying to get a fill here. No fill yet.
Nvidia above VWAP.
Canceling out because I'm just not getting the fill.
ACHR, that went through that 420 spot. ACHR actually broke the 417 intraday high and currently at 427. Nice on ACHR.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get ready for all access. Congratulations, Khalid. That's awesome. I hope you understood the process as to why I took that SPY trade so that you can replicate it next time on your own. And for those of you who missed it, we just kind of pretty much looked at, hey, where was the previous resistance? It was around this 435, excuse me. And then we tested it within 5 minutes of the market opening. We went ahead and grabbed some. And obviously, we went ahead and sold it for like $50 worth of gains, but it went as much as 150. We did not get that, but I'll be back in about 10-15 minutes for all access, y'all. See y'all in a bit.
You got it, my friend. And I'm taking a little bit of a shot here in ALLG and taking a little bit of a shot. Just got a little bit of a fill there at 338, 300 shares. Going to risk off to 323. Look to see if we can push back towards this big candle towards 388. So what is this risk here? This is going to be about a 15-cent risk here. And looking for what? Well, it's a nice little push higher there from the 338s up there towards the high. That's about 51 cents. So I'll take a 15-cent risk for a 51-cent reward anytime. We'll see what happens. Starbucks being mentioned in the chat. We talked about that VWAP level, how it looked good there. And there you go. Not a bad trade there. Wally, hey, that's how it is sometimes. And I just because I don't like it, and I talked about it, I like the setup, but I just suck at the name. So there you guys have it. It did make a nice little move there. So Starbucks, Wally, not a bad little move there on Starbucks. And we'll eventually look to see if we see Fetch do that little cup and handle move. All right, looking to see what happens here on lovely ALLG. I don't even know this name, guys. I just found it, and that's why I'm taking the shot there. You guys smash the like out there, guys.
Looking around here for something else to trade, folks. The trade in the small account not materializing, so we'll see what we're going to do with that.
All right, now starting to get a little bit of an up move there. I like that first action here for ALLG. Can I get some buying to step up here in the 45s and 50s? Right now, it's on the offer towards 47. Want to see if this could get through the 50s. First spot that I see at least a little bit of jump in volume is towards the 70s. So this has room to run here. I don't mind adding towards 40. I'm actually going to look to see if I can add a little bit on this to look for a little bit bigger win. I'd have to change my risk towards about 10 cents if I'm adding, but always keeping that in mind.
Derm going higher here. Derm.
All right, getting a little bit of a push here towards 350s on the offer. We'll see if ALLG can get that run.
Nice call on Derm, Crow.
Derm. All right, let's go to the multi-box.
Nice little pop out of this formation here. So right here, this little pop out of this formation, this 223, nice little break above on Derm. Nice
Maybe the
job.
bottom right here. Oh, you got it up. Perfect.
Yep. I got
Thanks,
it.
man.
Yeah, no problem. I basically just recreated my relative volume scanner, except instead of a volume filter, I used a volume 1 minute. Got to be at least 100,000 shares traded in the last minute. I'm hoping to find volume pops with this. I'm not ready to replace my main scanner, so I'm kind of just doing this on the side, and then incorporating a 4-chart layout with it so we can get multiple time frames at once.
Canceling my order and no fill on the pullback. Just going to look to see if it can go through the 350s and make the run. Of course, up in the account a pretty decent amount today. So just want to keep pushing here and seeing if I can make, another $60, $70. I'll take it. All right, 350 is showing up here. Let's see if we can take out 350 and go to the upside in ALLG. I know you still got Derm up there. We'll see what happens.
Derm's going.
Ooh, big wall here at 350, 2,497 shares sitting right now at 350. Someone needs to take it for it to go higher. We'll see if it kind of pushes through that 350 level.
Peloton, there's some call sweeps. Peloton at the highs here. Yeah, seeing several Peloton calls come in here. Interesting.
Why not? I mean, it's stair-stepping its way back, right? But what they're doing is a lot of the times is they're looking at stocks that were close to 52-week lows, I feel like, because we're seeing a lot of stocks make this kind of move off the lows. So just be careful with that outlook, right? Because it's a very fast approach towards a trade like that. Look at Fubu making a little move above $2 today. Not a bad little move there. And so stocks that are really kind of beaten down, making a little bit of a move up. Warner Brothers was making a little bit of a decent move as of late. And look at that. This little move there. Holding the 14s on pullbacks right now. Starbucks, are you going to get another move through 100? Let's see. It's up there right back towards the intraday kind of highs almost. 99.47. We'll look to see if it gets through that. I just got a price alert for Honeywell, and so this is definitely going to be a swing trade alert here for me. I'm going to go ahead and try to buy some right now. Just grabbed a little bit here at 207. Been waiting for Honeywell to do this move for a while, team. Look at the monthly chart. I've actually drawn lines here. I've talked about this since June 8th. Was also looking to see if we could get back above these monthly levels. Now we're trying to make a move to 200. I'm taking my shot here in Honeywell in the swing trade account, but I could also look at it for maybe even just a day trade on the day. Another way to look at this is the XLI. This is what I've been pointing towards on Start Swing Trade, how this has really started to take off. So keep your eyes on names like CAT, Deere. Look how these names are ripping today. Big move up there in industrials. Airlines is where I'm really missing out on this and going to be freaking frustrated for a while now as I see these airlines just taking off. The straight takeoff. Look at DAL, man. Oh, man, I was all over these moves with the cruise lines. Just sold it a little early, and I'm going to be a little frustrated on this because I wanted them to be longer-term swings. We could have kept the airlines, it seems like, and the cruise lines. It's ridiculous, but it's the truth. They've been just keep pushing. And AAL is definitely one that got a nice little news. They hit it down on some news down here towards 14, and that was a major opportunity to get it near the lows by the 13s. And you're getting it almost at pandemic levels if you got it down there. So big move there in the airlines. That looks great. Farm heavy construction now starting to take off. Tools and accessories pushing on. So what are the big names there? SNA, Snap-on Tools, right? We talked about this.
Yeah, we did.
Look at that.
Pulled up the wrong ticker, but we talked about it.
SWK, Stanley Black & Decker, making a move up. And I think this is why it's so important to catch industry moves. Looks like industrials are starting to make a big move here. And I definitely don't want to be missing names like this and trying to catch anything here. Look at this. This is interesting. Even car budget, right? Like, I'm just literally going through this and finding what? Hot stocks. Why? Because I'm starting at the sector level and moving down into the industries is how I like to do it. And then I can look at the stocks that are making moves. One stock I've been talking about on Start Swing Trade is ITW. Look at this move. This is a diversified industrial move. So now we're talking what? GE. Now we're talking Honeywell, right? Look at those move higher. Doesn't look too bad. I'll look to see if Boeing recovers on the day. That made a big move yesterday. Has been red all day. I'll look to see if it recovers. All right, we'll keep going here, team. We'll look to see if I can get this action here, but definitely industrials are definitely interesting. Yeah, glad airlines are taking off. Small bag hold in the Roth. Hey, humble. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. What you got? The Jets? Yeah, it's not too bad. At least you're in an ETF. Go with love. You're not too late. Yes, Caleb, we've talked about that, right? Why not maybe even go with love, right? I mean, it's already gotten the lift a little bit here towards 31. I've talked about like 32. I also seen JetBlue down here just sitting around. And I think if these airlines are all going to lift, then maybe we can kind of clear the tide here with JetBlue and love. But yeah, you're not talking about the favorite names, right? That's where you got to be a little bit careful. We'll find out what happens. That's not a bad name, though, too. I mean, I think overall, I think it was kind of hit too hard for no reason. So I kind of like this levels here on the swing. I'll take a starter here on the day. Let me see if I can get a little bit of some pullback. Let's go to the 15 here. All right, so it looks like we're trying to reload here at the resistance. We'll look to see if we pull back a little bit towards like 31.75, and then maybe I could get a little bit of an entry. All right, not doing much here on ALLG, but the spread is about 9 cents. Just got to be careful here on ALLG if it's going to make this move to 350 or not. Just keeping a close eye on it to see if we can get that push. Spread's a little wide. That's the only thing that's concerning here on this name. All right, what do you guys got in the chat? I see you guys talking about their cat's been flying. Yeah, the cat's out the hat, man. Socks out, turn around. Yeah, the Qs. Are the Qs turning back around? And yes, they're right, almost back to VWAP. We could see it still fade off of this, but look how quickly Nvidia came back. This is why you got to be careful with a dragon like Nvidia on the short side. I know I've made money on it on the short side today, but also I'm saying you got to be careful with a name like this. If it comes back that quickly, probably doesn't want to get shorted. Like it just, the action doesn't hold on there. So you got to be careful on that. All right, it's about 10:52, and in a little bit, we'll be joined by Zunaid to get you guys over to All Access. Smash the like out there, team, if you guys enjoy the live trading action right here.
Tough day today for me, and I definitely I apologize for that. Took 3 losses early on here. But yeah, I mean, we'll look to see if anything sets up. This Peloton is interesting. Looks like it's trying to break 947. Big call sweeps earlier. Call sweeps on Farfetch didn't work for me though, so just kind of a little nervous to try and take this.
Can't blame you on that outlook, man. I'm just looking around to see what's going to happen here.
Yeah, Farfetch still hasn't broke 6.
Let's go to XOM. Oh, and now you want to do it to me really quickly here. Oil coming down fast here. I missed that 108. Never got the 108.50s attempt there. So it didn't get up to that level. Now starting to reject a little bit here. So got to determine if this is where I want to get short, or do I want to let it test back above the 108s first? I'm going to probably let it come back to 108 first because I just missed too much of this move already. All right, and we're getting closer towards that A and B time, right? Well, look how that 126 really was kind of not that bad of a bottoming. Remember, I talked about when I want to risk off that 126. It wouldn't have been too bad. It went down after that, a 5-minute candle went to 126.09. So definitely double bottoms there off the 126 level. That's where I think you got some of the buy the dips in AMD today. You can see here the stock kind of bottomed. It went right back to these levels multiple times, then reversed out of these levels. We'll look to see if they really get going with their event. And was this just an hourly pullback opportunity?
Just wanted to quickly pop in. You've got Nvidia 500-hour calls coming in on the ask expiring July 7th, about $100-something thousand worth. So something interesting going on there. You see the stock pop in here as well.
In what?
Nvidia,
Nvidia. I'm glad you
$500
guys
call.
are out of that short.
Yeah, I'm actually just got back in the long at an average price of 401.65s. But yeah, that's $500 calls coming in on the ask, expiring July 7th for approximately now $160,000.
My boy
Not the biggest
Savage.
flow, but
Savage just flipped on it real quick. Going long, baby. You take that money, Zunaid.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So 405 is your intraday high. So I'm gonna be a bit greedy. I'm gonna trim half at 405, and then just let the rest roll. See what's what.
So I like AMD a little later today. We'll see what happens. And what about Qualcomm? Remember earlier I talked about that was looking good. I missed my opportunity in Qualcomm today, back towards 124.50. And I feel like this is one that's just getting going. So we'll see what happens there on Qualcomm. I know I look at this monthly and I'm thinking, do I want Qualcomm or IBM? Probably want Qualcomm. I think that one's a little bit better to have here. Just got to understand that the risk is down there towards like 115. So I'll be looking for any pullbacks that I can jump into Qualcomm, but it does look good here at 124.50. We'll see what happens out there. Fake moves this morning, and it happens, Smoke Tuna. We can always get these little quick pullbacks and then a move right back higher. So like I was stating it earlier, how the Qs were kind of coming down, but they weren't just like giving us an elevator move. It was just kind of a leak. And now we're right back to the VWAP. It could leak from here. We'll find out. Still on this ALLG. Of course, this is the Moomoo account. You guys smash the like. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about Moomoo, you guys can definitely check it out. And did you know right now, if you deposit up to 5,000, you can even get a share of Tesla or Google here. If you just join, hit the link there, guys. If you guys haven't done so already, check out Moomoo. Sean asking about Netflix. Let's take a look here. Netflix up there towards 436. And it feels like to me like this has been moving based off of the password sharing event. And I know that Dennis has been telling me about it more and more, how it's affecting more of the Canadian names. And we're near the resistance around this kind of 450 level. So can this have a little bit more drive? I feel like it could have a little bit more drive, but is it extended from the 9 being that light blue line, have a tendency of extending away and then coming back to it? We're pretty extended. So it could pull back here towards 410s, but definitely I do see some resistance at 450s. I've been looking at Netflix to see if it stays strong, to see if it affects Disney and gets it into this gap.
You've got 420 calls coming in on Nvidia here now, approximately $100,000 worth. So a lot of flow coming into Nvidia. I believe y'all said there was some type of event or something at 12. Was that for AMD or was that for Nvidia?
That's for AMD.
Okay, so it could be interesting.
That's AMD.
How that goes.
All right, getting a little bit of a pullback here. ALLG. It's not doing much here, so I'm probably just going to keep it towards like an 8-cent risk here, which is pretty much nothing on the size that I have. It's just not doing anything. It's kind of one of those ticking time bomb trades that we talked about earlier today. And that's how I refer to it. I call them like ticking time bombs. It's like, if you're going to do something, you would have already done something. So I will set the stop here at the 330s to get me out if I need to on ALLG. I don't want to just cut it here because there's no point, right? I'd lose like about like $9, but I didn't even give it a chance. So now that I'm in the trade, I've already taken the assessment. Just know they're out, know the reward. We'll see what happens later. All right, that's going to probably do it for us here as we start to wrap it up. It's 10:58. I'm going to kick it over to Zunaid to take control in just a second here. I just want to bring on my man Ryan to take a look into the markets, and then we'll get a little bit of wrap up here. What do you want to talk about, Ryan?
Well, basically, I just want to see how we trade leading up to this Fed decision, right? I'm pretty certain we're going to get a pause tomorrow. I don't expect any type of surprise. I think if we did get a surprise hike, even if it was only 25 bips, the market would really sell off. I believe we're pricing that in right now and have been for the past week. Also, I want to continue to watch the relationship, between the IWM and the Qs. Qs are up 0.5%. IWM is up 1.15%. As long as the IWM continues to lead, you might see tech come in, and that could be the impetus for some of those trades. I am going to check out SOXS and SQQQ a little bit later in the day and see if maybe we can hold those overnight. In the small account, I'm hanging out right here at 30 cents at this point. Might just hold this, watch me on Twitter. If you see, if I close this trade here today, I'll go ahead and post that on Twitter. Down 1 cent on 1,000 shares, almost feels Hail Mary-esque in the small account. So we'll see. And as a reminder, no market on Monday. Plan accordingly.
Yeah, it's not easy. And like always in the small account challenge, didn't take a trade today, trying to get some trades back. I've found a little rut. And what am I doing? I'm hitting the pause button, slowing down, right? If anything, we'll go at it in smaller size. And I think that that's the only thing that's keeping me into the green there for the small account challenge. So like always, you guys want to keep up with that and learn how to battle through. That's what we're doing it for, right? It's not an easy way to go at it with the small account challenge, but definitely guys catch that up. And I am setting up here the stream for you guys to find live trading after, of course, all access. So that you guys can go ahead and keep talking about trading all day long. So if you guys want to keep talking about trading, don't go anywhere. We'll be definitely around and you guys can find that stream. I'm actually going to put it up here in just a second here for you guys. But of course, check out all access. That's coming up next. Don't want you guys to miss that. I'm setting up the stream and I'll definitely get it to you guys in just a second here. I'm going to let Zunaid take over. And Ryan, Zunaid, always good to have you guys on live trading. And we'll see you tomorrow. All right, Ryan's out there. I'm out. I'll let Zunaid take control and get you guys into all access.
All right, appreciate it. You know, one thing that we love to do here at Benzinga is to get your questions answered in the chat from executives, from companies, so that you can see if it is worth investing with your hard-earned money. And today we've got a special guest who is going to be Oren, who is the CEO and Enlivex Therapeutics, ticker ENLV. All access starts right now.
Hey, Zunaid.
How are you? Sorry, my screen just blanked out there. My apologies.
Yeah,
How's it going for you?
I was stressed for a second. Yeah. I'm doing well, very well. Very happy to be here. And thanks for inviting me. I think it's a great opportunity for potential investors to kind of hear the story again, get familiar with this exciting company, and yeah, let's hit the road.
Let's get right down to it. Now, I've got some nitty gritty stuff to ask you, but for the folks that may not be familiar with your company, if you could explain it to me like I'm 5, what is it that your company does?
Well, Enlivex is a next generation cell therapy company. It's a company that focus on reprogramming a unique cell called macrophages. We'll get to that in a second, maybe. But this is a very, very important cell, very essential part of the immune system, and involved in inflammation, infectious disease, and cancer, you name it, is there, is involved. Sometimes very pivotal. And in some diseases, it goes out of control. And especially in cancer, you know, it's a well-valued target these days. Many companies are developing drugs to treat macrophages. And we have our own cell therapy, which is an off-the-shelf cell therapy. So it's really a simple, relatively cost-effective, that can reprogram those macrophages. And when they go out of control, we can intervene with our platform, provide our cells to the patient, reprogram those macrophages, and potentially by that resolve the disease. So that's the focus of Enlivex. Yeah. And to be honest, I think in the space of cell therapy, definitely our approach is unique and a leading in the sense of reprogramming macrophages. It's not another Me Too company for sure.
Yeah. What happens when they become imbalanced, though? Right. I was trying to read up on it. I'm trying to understand when those macrophages get imbalanced, what happens to them then?
Well, it depends on the disease, right? So maybe we can subdivide it into two verticals, the inflammatory ones and in cancer. And first of all, what's very unique about the cell, which is really a unique characteristic, is the fact that the same cell can become very active and very suppressive. It depends on the environment. It's part of what he's doing, and that's really the plasticity is kind of embedded in his role. But for instance, in inflammatory diseases like sepsis, let's take sepsis for example, this cell goes out of control and continues to excite the immune system in an overly excited immune system, eventually leading to non-specific recognition, damage of organs, organ failures, and morbidity. It actually results in a completely dysregulated immune response. excessive immune response. While in cancer, they're actually doing, in a simple way, the other way around, right? So they suppress the immune system against the tumor. They promote tumor growth. They promote tumor metastasis and so on and so forth. So in those cases, we want to bring them back to the normal or even active way in order to allow the immune system to for them to act against the tumor and the immune system to act against the tumor. So that's what has happened.
Yeah, and I know you're also having, you announced or you talked about clinical progress that you've made in the sepsis side of things, and I believe you also have a collaboration in the clinical trials as well. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, definitely. So in sepsis, we have 3 open clinical studies. The sepsis phase 2 study, it's ongoing. We recently did some additional changes to the protocol to increase more to treat more severe patients, which are the target patients of this population. We're expecting top line data at Q1 24. In the second and 2 additional studies in cancer, actually in advanced solid tumor patients with no really good treatment that exhausted many treatment lines so far. And in that study, one is in combination with chemotherapy, and the other one is a kind of a classical dose escalation study when we're evaluating Allocetra as a standalone and in combination with anti-PD-1. For that study, we recently announced a collaboration with Beijing/Novartis over their anti-PD-1 tislelizumab drug. So they're going to supply that drug to our study. As you know, anti-PD-1, Keytruda or Opdivo are very expensive drugs. And we want to evaluate that combination. And therefore, we collaborated with Beijing, again, /Novartis. And they have their eyeballs over the study. We'll see how it progress. We're, very optimistic there.
Yeah, speaking of that, I mean, you had an agency that sent like a notice, a warning to doctors saying, hey, when you're prescribing medicine for diabetes, that also some people are saying for weight loss, be careful, make sure it's properly prescribed and all that other good stuff as well. Is there anything exciting that's happening in your industry as of late? Something that's on the horizon possibly that you'd like our viewers to kind of keep an eye out for?
Well, first of all, in general, I think there were recently several interesting deals around cell therapy, especially in the Treg space. We saw a few, and I think the industry is kind of mature. We started off with T cells, right? Everybody was all about T cells. It's like there's no other cell in our immune system, but apparently there are ones. So I think in the past 5 years or so, we saw some progress, especially in the allogeneic space. And that's a very important point regarding cell therapies in general. We're seeing more focus on allogeneic space in order to take the huge potential that we see in cell therapy and translate it eventually into a sustainable, commercialized product. Because the ones that are autologous that we're taking for the patient, it's very limited there. So we're seeing additional excitement through NK cells, through gamma delta T cells, all of those companies, Addison Bio, very good companies. I think that in the space of macrophages, we don't see enough. Maybe for us, that's a benefit because kind of it puts us up front there. Yeah. But I think we should, investors should follow those new modalities, right? Those whether it's TIL, tumor-infiltrating lymphocyte, whether it's Tregs, and whether it's macrophages.
Yeah, you've got a question in the chat here from Raz. Is your main target population sepsis or oncology? And of course, if it's sepsis, he'll have a follow-up.
To be honest, I think it's, we're seeing many companies trying to struggle and navigate through the storms now by kind of downsizing their portfolio, right? And become, I don't want to say one-trick pony, but trying to focus on one program. Our approach is slightly different. I think we're trying to diversify our pipeline because we have the luxury to work with macrophages that could be, that's a platform basically. Yeah. Now, we do try to manage our expenses wisely. So we're doing taking different approaches eventually, but I think we want to hit those clinical milestones in both ways. So I don't have a one answer. Both are very, very important. Definitely the phase 2 in sepsis is the leading asset. That's for sure. But there are numerous opportunities in oncology. And to be honest, one of the things that we're doing now is we're engaging with really leading cancer center, leading investigators, researchers in US to open additional kind of investigator-initiated trials to evaluate the efficacy of Allocetra in additional and more specific, maybe advanced solid tumors, right? In combination on top of standard of care, that's coming as well. Maybe a lower cost studies on the one hand, but really with top-notch investigators that are enthusiastic about the technology, and that combination could lead to additional clinical outcomes with reasonable expenses. So that's kind of the approach we're taking.
Well, I'm glad you brought up expenses because I wanted to talk about AI and if you're utilizing that today or plan to tomorrow to reduce expenses and optimize efficiencies. Because look, for me, it would help me with my homework, but companies are utilizing it to kind of go through raw data to kind of reduce labor costs, different things like that. How is your company utilizing AI?
So currently we're not, to be very honest. I mean, we're using, ChatGPT. We're
Right.
using
I
it to a
understand, yeah.
certain extent, like I guess everyone else, because it doesn't make sense not to utilize it today as a tool, but it's not well still implemented in our strategy. We're cut our expenses in various ways, not through the AI yet. I definitely agree that that's another sector that's the future, definitely. Also in the life science space. And there are very good companies actually also from Israel that are coming out. That's one of the strengths we have in Israel. But I think that at the end of the day, for us, we're focused on our clinical milestones and cutting down our expenses in various ways that will take us, our cash run rate call currently formally is all the way to end of 24. We have several catalyzation points to that point. And we're also doing this cost saving and prioritization in order to extend the cash runway into 25. So I think we have enough time there to generate data and hopefully to create value to our shareholders.
Well, speaking of which, this is one final question for me, then I'll turn it over to you. I know, there's certain things that you have to kind of keep close to your chest, but anything that is public, I'll rephrase this question. Is there anything that we can expect in terms of, hey, this is when we're planning to go ahead and announce results of certain studies, things that are in the pipeline, anything that's already public that you can share with us of what's to come next?
Well, we kind of talked about where I cannot say things that are, not public,
Right.
but basically we've the top line data from the sepsis phase 2 is coming at Q1 24.
Okay.
That's a plan. The 2 oncology studies are actually what we call open label. So, data is progressing as we move ahead with the study. I do think that the first half of 24, we're expecting to get readout and follow-ups for patients that receiving the high doses, the combination doses. So there are these studies. As I said, we're engaging and we'll probably open several additional investigator-initiated trials with top-notch centers in the U.S. In oncology indications. We're working there to generate that that value to our shareholder. I think the deal with Beijing is just another example of the way we work. It's the formula we applied in my previous company together with the chairman of Enlivex CEO, where we did eventually we sell that company for $560 million acquisition. We had a licensing agreement with Pfizer later on that was eventually for our leading asset that was approved. There's a lot of experience here working together and as a management. So I'm hopeful that this will be eventually translated into the right value of Enlivex and to the shareholders.
Well, I've written it down. Hopefully we can have a conversation with you when it comes to Q1 of 2024, if not before. But we've talked about a lot of things of what you've achieved, what's going on today, and what to expect tomorrow. But I wanted to give you the floor, and if there's anything you want to discuss with our viewers that we didn't get a chance to do so far.
Well, I think we covered the most important points, to be honest. And I think people need to have a double click, look at Enlivex. It's a fascinating story. It's a clinically staged company. It's an experienced management with a great track record. It's not another Me Too, right? So it's a diversified pipeline, great initial clinical data, both from safety and efficacy perspective, great preclinical data, solid science. I think that, in other times we were probably we're having a different conversation. Now we're going to, find our way through the storm, but we're working on it and we'll get there.
Well, look forward to having more conversations. Thank you so much, Doc. Really appreciate you being here. That is Dr. Oren, CEO of Enlivex, ticker ENLV. Thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you, Zone. It was great, great discussion here with you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Appreciate you for joining us and look forward to many more in the future. And thank you in the chat as well for hanging out with us today. We appreciate you being engaged because this is what we do it for. We do it for you so we can get your questions answered from executives themselves. Thank you for watching All Access.